Welcome back to Healthwise. With us is Dr. Michael Felton from Opelousas General Systems Wound Care Center. And Doc, we were talking about nutrition and what role it plays in wound care.
Okay. Again, we were speaking before the break about the myths concerning wound care. There's a lot of confusion out there, and I think that's why a lot of the wound care efforts that were carried out previously weren't done in a concerted fashion. You had some practitioners who devoted a lot of time and energy to it, others who were very perfunctory. What we've discovered is that a measured, concise, scientifically based approach, evidence-based approach gets us better results. And for those of us who want to take the time to learn it, it's a very rewarding field, because you see people with wounds that come to us after 6 months or 8 months of not healing, and they're miserable. Their quality of life's in the dirt, and we can do some things to make them better. I was kind of tickled to find out that our wound care center is the busiest single wound care center in the country. I didn't know that.
Wow.
We just know we were busy. We didn't realize how busy we were. Specifically related to nutrition, you'll see a lot of the literature coming out of Europe especially, and then a lot of older physicians, or not say older, just the dinosaurs in their thinking about wound care. You don't need to eat special or nothing, you just eat a balanced breakfast. How many Americans do you know eat a balanced breakfast? Balanced 3 meals a day, the 4 servings of vegetables and fruit every day, get 8 hours of sleep every day. Okay. So since none of us really are living in this utopian world of I get my 8 hours of sleep and my manservant wakes me with breakfast at the bedside and all that other foolishness, the rest of us have lives and we work. A lot of us end up with minor deficiencies of various vitamins and nutrients and things we need to help wounds heal. A lot of our wound care patients are also facing comorbid conditions like diabetes and hypertension or hypercholesterolemia, so those things play a big role. Specifically, if you're thinking about hypercholesterolemia, high cholesterol levels tends to cause blockage. People think, I get heart attack. But what about that wound on your leg that's not healing? If you've got blockages developing because your cholesterol's out of whack, your wounds aren't going to heal, because you need that highway, so to speak, of the blood vessels to bring the nutrients, to bring the white blood cells and all the other things there to get the wound to heal. Other things you think about specifically are related to diet. Most of us eat a good old, typical Southern diet, and
sure. Good.
I don't count my exactly. I don't count my 7 servings of vegetables and fruit every day.
Maybe boudin, but
I think boudin's a fruit.
Yeah. Right.
Well, So again, it's just you don't really think about it until someone gets sick, and you start thinking, okay, I've got this lovely lady of 54 years who's a hypertensive, and she's a school teacher, and she's got an ulcer to her leg from bumping a cabinet in her classroom with the kids. And it's been there for 4 weeks. It's not getting better. Well, you find out that in addition to having her, high blood pressure or diabetes, she's also got some decreased blood flow. So there's some things you can do there. You want to check her cholesterol, make sure she's got good blood flow, make sure that her homocysteine levels, which is related specifically to nutrition. If you don't have adequate levels of folic acid, B6, and B12, now those are your B vitamins that you get eating your 7 servings of fruits and vegetables every day that we don't get. So then we want to supplement that. And again, like I said, the dinosaurs will say, you don't need all that stuff. But I ask you, if you look at athletes, like in the Olympics or collegiate level athletes, these kids take supplements so their muscles grow and heal from the training. Well, what's more dynamic than trying to heal a big wound on your leg? Think about pregnant ladies. They take special pregnancy vitamins so that baby can grow to be a beautiful, healthy child. Well, let's make a beautiful, healthy wound go away. Let's have some healthy skin there, and instead of that beautiful or that nasty old wound. So what we want is to get all those little building blocks, so to speak, in our diet. Thinking specifically, everyone knows what vitamin C is, but do people know that if your vitamin C level isn't adequate, you can't build healthy collagen? Well, what's collagen, Doc? Well, it's the framework that you... So it seems like not a big deal. Well, I've had 3 meals today. What'd you have? I had a cup of coffee and some toast at 8:30 as I rushed to work. I then had a stand-up half of a sandwich and another cup of coffee and some chips. Now, I haven't hit a vegetable yet. And this is a typical day. I got home, I had meat, rice, and gravy with my wife and a serving of a single vegetable for the day, and then I passed out after I helped my kids with the homework.
Yeah, that's a finished thing.
Yeah. So that teacher hits her leg or his leg, and he may have a wound that won't heal well, not just because they're diabetic, not just because they're hypertensive, but because they're actually suffering from micro malnutrition, so to speak. that's something we as the wound care physicians take into account. We do a nutritional assessment of our patients when they come in and replace those deficiencies for them. Sometimes it's just diet, reminding patients, look, let's get home and not forget to put that piece of fruit in your lunch bag. Since you're on the road, cut it into pieces and eat a piece as you drive. For the patients who are really very deficient, then there's supplements out there that we can have them take, and they do better and they heal. Again, treat it as though it's a battle. You want to bring every weapon you can to bear on getting those wounds to heal. And to me, if I've got a vitamin deficiency, well, that's one less arrow in my quiver that I can use to get that wound to heal. I want that vitamin on board doing its job. If I need to get more protein in my diet, because I am in what's called a catabolic state as you break down, anabolic state as you build. I'm not talking anabolic steroids, but we're talking anabolic as in the body trying to grow. So we want to grow that healthy skin where there's a hole. Okay, and there was a joke or an anecdote was, we want to heal the whole patient, not the hole in the patient. So again, you have to get that holistic approach and look at all those elements that make up wound healing.
Right. And I think too, like you were saying, you said micro as far as the nutrition, the deficiencies and stuff. But you know, a lot of people, they think they're overweight, but they are overweight.
Yes, sir.
But
very correct, sir. Yes, sir.
Deficiency in their diet means they're not getting the right minerals, vitamins, and everything else that they need.
Like Garfield the cat said when someone said fat, he said, "Hey, I resemble that remark." Well, that's me.
Oh yeah.
I don't eat a balanced diet because I'm working. I saw 56 patients today in my office. I worked my first job in Lafayette and then went to my office and saw a bunch of people. I'm going to leave here and go see a bunch of other folks. So I take vitamin supplements and I try to make myself exercise 3 days a week. And so the guy who's overweight like me still may not be well nourished unless you take the time to replace those little bits of things. And we're not talking gross deficiency like you have rickets or something from vitamin C, but you can have low levels of vitamin A or vitamin C or folic acid, and it will delay your wound healing.
Sure.
So we want to replace those.
And guys, and we don't think as a whole, but I know with me at St. Landry EMS, a lot of times because we are picking up people on stretchers and we're doing all this stuff, we tend to bump into things.
Yes,
and it doesn't have to be an elderly person that has a wound care problem.
Correct.
We bring lots of people to wound care.
Yes, sir.
Youngsters, you know, and they're a lot younger than me, you know, and I'm looking at them like, well, what happened?
We're the same age, so we're youngsters too.
So
relatively.
Sure. So, you know, that's something that I think we need to tell the audience also, that you don't have to be an elderly person to have a wound care problem and a micro deficiency in their nutrition. That's just something that, you know, we need to think about. We'll come back and talk some more about nutrition in regards to wound care when we come back from this message from our sponsors.